So we had to start with a little playfulness. You all recognize the song, right? Yes. Many children right now are preparing their lists and making their visits to Santa, asking for what they want on their wish list. There's that song, he knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Sounds like control to me. Naughty and nice. Have you been naughty? Have you been nice? I think being naughty is more fun.
Sometimes being naughty is nice.
Sometimes being naughty is nice. Depends on your description, I guess, of what naughty is. But too often I think our concept of God is just like that. He knows if I've been bad or good. And somehow we have these hangover concepts from old religious days that if you're good, if you're a good, kind person, then you're going to get God's favor. And if you're bad, you know where you're going. Sometimes our concept of God is like that. And even though you may have been coming to this kind of a philosophy for many years, some of those old things kind of linger back there. Like, ooh, I better be good so I get the good stuff. Or I hear people say, I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me? That's the flip side of it. It's not about whether we're good or bad. It really doesn't have anything to do with our spiritual part. It's a good thing to be kind and to be nice to others on our human experience, of course. I'm not advocating for being rude or being bad. But in terms of our spiritual goodness, in terms of our spiritual living, it has nothing to do with concepts like good or bad. There's no God who's going to reward you because you were good. There's no God who's going to punish you because you were bad. If you have that old thing hanging out in your mind, it may be time to get rid of it, because it's really not the truth. All that any of us could ever want or need, please don't analyze those words, because sometimes in New Thought, we're not supposed to want anything. We're not supposed to want as if we don't have it. But of course you have to want things. You have to want goodness. Of course you need things in your life. So don't be afraid of the words. Everything that we want or need comes to us based on our conscious intention. Everything that Mary was reading, I wanted to just say yes, 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 yes. Every single thing that was written, what she read. It's based on our conscious intention, and our believing makes it so. You've heard it a few times, perhaps? Okay, so I'm a person who does not like or appreciate what is known as pat answers. It doesn't work for me. Maybe you resonate with that too, I don't know. I'm not a person who likes to just say, well, all you got to do is change your thinking, change your life. Oh my goodness, yes, that's true. All I got to do is change my thinking, change my life. All I have to do is get my conscious intention in the right place. All I have to do is believe that there's a power that's greater than me that knows what it's doing. All I have to do is those things. Easier said than done sometimes. So here's this wonderful, beautiful principle of consciousness and intention and believing. And as Ross set up in the prayer treatment, sometimes it gets so complicated. So what I know is that on one level it's very simple. It's very simple. We get our disbelief out of the way and we install a greater sense of believing, and our life begins to flow. It's very simple. Sometimes in its application, it can get complicated. And I just like to honor the complicatedness. I like to honor that, because otherwise it feels like I'm not honoring what we go through. So I can look around the room today and I can see and I know what people are struggling with. I know what my own are. And so my heart goes out. my heart goes out. I want to say, oh, it's just easy, just think like this. But it's challenging, and you know what your own stuff is. That's just my way of saying we're all in this thing together, and we're learning the best we can. We're practicing these principles the best we can, and let's be really gentle with ourselves. You've heard me say it before, but I think it's so important. So when I make a concept, when I make a point that says everything that we need or want comes to us by our conscious intention and by our belief, that's absolutely true, and I believe that. And I also know sometimes we get lost. And so we come together on Sunday morning to get found again, so to speak, to get ourselves back on our track, to get ourselves back in the mindset. So in our prayer, Ross was speaking about our 5 steps of treatment. In our prayer, we often use these words, I speak my word. So a lot of today's message actually comes from an inspiration from Ernest Holmes in the October Daily Guide. And he addresses that, I speak my word. I want to share it with you. He says, just what is meant by your word? It means your conscious intention, your conscious direction, your conscious faith and acceptance that because of what you are doing, the power will flow through your word in the direction you give it. In the science of mind, we call this giving a treatment. This does not mean that we are holding thoughts. It does not mean that we are concentrating the power. It does not mean that we are willing something to happen. Those are burdensome. It does not mean that we are holding thoughts. It does not mean that we are concentrating the power. It does not mean that we are willing something to happen. It does mean we are providing a condition in our consciousness, our thought world, which permits the power to flow through us. It will always flow through us when we provide the right condition. Oh, I'm going to tell you, it's always flowing through us whether we provide the right condition or not. You are not beseeching it, you are thinking it into manifestation. Perhaps when you sit in the silence of your thought, many ideas will come racing through your mind. Perhaps, he's very hopeful man. Perhaps when you sit in the silence, many ideas will come racing through your mind. That's normal. Many confusing concepts, ideas of limitation and fear, a sense of uncertainty may rise in your consciousness. Brush these ideas aside mentally. Not as though you were fighting them, but as though you were seeing through them. I like that image. Not fighting, but as we can see through them. Physical facts, forms, and conditions are no obstruction to this principle. It flows through them and takes new form in them. It remolds them. That which makes can remake, that which molds can remold, and that which creates can recreate. Remember, what you see comes from what you do not see. The visible is invisible made manifest. Where was that one? I wanted to read again. Physical facts, forms, and conditions are no obstruction to this principle. There's a musician named Eddie Watkins Jr. Have you ever heard of him? Yep. He has a song that says, get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do its thing. The song is telling us to get our smallness, our ego, our sense of limitation, our sense of, I have to figure it all out. Get out of the way and let this bigger power come through. The physical form we live with is no obstacle to the principle we're talking about. That's a really big thing to remember on a daily basis. Whatever we're experiencing in our life is not limited in the principle. The principle says if we can think it, if we can dream it, if we can imagine it, if we can intend it, if we can use our imagination to see it, then by means we can have it. When we get our littleness out of the way, we can have it. The principle is not limited. So today, this M&M's stands for Masterful Manifester. Who wants some M&M's? Anybody out there want some M&M's? See how far I can get. Who wants some over here?